Good morning. Thank you for coming to my virtual mini-series, How to Talk to Plants and Other Ways of Connecting Deeply to Nature. This is the first of 4. We will be breaking down different ways for you just to connect deeply to the natural world around you and be able to talk to plants and set you up for a much more profound experience with herbal medicine and plants. There we go. So the first thing is to move out of a mundane understanding of nature. We often just walk around and everything is just there. We don't feel connected to it. It's just part of the world, right? But then we begin to, notice the plants, see the bees, and notice how pretty they are, notice the butterflies, and then we realize it's an ecosystem, and we have an appreciation. And oftentimes we end there. The next step is to build the relationship with the plants so that we become part of the ecosystem. So how do we do that, right? I call it discovering your radius. Walk around your neighborhood. Notice what plants are there. You'll probably walk around and notice a lot of the same plants growing, not just in people's yards, but in the grass along the sidewalk. What's growing? What's there? What are the trees? How do the trees look? Do they look strong and sturdy, like you'd want to climb them? Are all of their leaves and branches intact? Or do they look a little sickly? Do they look like they need some love? Do you want to hug them? These are all normal and healthy questions to ask as you're beginning to develop your relationship with your natural community. Next, go for a ride around your city, your town, and notice where there are fields or abandoned lots. You probably have tons that you don't even realize are there. As you're driving to the airport, are there a bunch of just plants growing? What about down the road that doesn't have a lot of businesses? What's there? Keep a note so that when you want to go explore plants, you go to the places where they're growing wild. Third, you go to your parks. My favorite wild medicinal plants, where I get elderberry and elderflower, things people pay a lot of money for in the store, is at my local Town Creek Park. And I've been going there for years. They are everywhere. Natural plants are everywhere. I get violet from this one park down the street in my backyard. But things are growing everywhere. You just have to start noticing that they're there. I recommend getting a plant identification app. They're so great. I have one called Picture This, and I love it. But we're trying not to be too far in the future here. So also bring a book. The best thing about plant identification books is they have lookalikes. So the app will tell you what it is, the family, and they're usually accurate. But sometimes you're like, well, this looks just like this, but they're a little bit different. I don't know how to tell. One of the older style plant ID books will definitely be able to help you notice the hairs, the shape of the stem, different things that can help you really identify plants and get to know them. You want to realize that nature is dynamic and we are part of it. So the second part, because this class is about clearing our channel, the second part is clearing our energy fields. We have so much gunk in our minds, in our auras, that if we want to go and connect deeply with plants, we have monkey mind going through all the time. So I'm going to just walk us through a little bit of breath. We breathe all day, and all day we're mostly doing it unconsciously. Nothing can help us. Connection paused out. Nothing can help us change our habits and patterns and levels of awareness quicker than just shifting our breath. Okay? So we'll begin. If you can be seated, put your hands, your fingertips on the floor next to you. We're gonna just do some aura sweeps, okay? So fingers on the floor beneath you, grounding to the earth. It's okay if you're not outside like I am, just touching the ground. Breathe in through your nose, hands touch above your head, and exhale down. Do this rather quickly. We're doing aura sweeps. So clearing the energy out, and imagine with your eyes closed if you can, filling it with bright light, sunlight. Keep going, filling it with light, filling with light, filling with light. All the gunk that was there, just let it go. Fill it with light. 3 more breaths. Keep your eyes closed and breathe in deeply, slowly, and completely. And hold the breath. Exhale slowly, completely, and hold the breath out. In, hold the breath. Out, hold the breath out. In, hold. When we hold the breath in, it tones our sympathetic nervous system. When we hold the breath out, it's our parasympathetic nervous system. This is helping us with our fight or flight, calm. Keep the breath going. In, hold, out, hold. We'll do 3 more breaths. Slowing the breath. My son the other day, I was asking him how to deal with a situation with somebody that really bothered me. And I was like, what do you think I should do? And his little 8-year-old self, he goes, well, Mom, I think you should just breathe deeply. That was it. That was his advice. I was like, you're not wrong. Okay. Sometimes we just have to come to the most basic things. When we take some time to center, to ground, and to let the mind go, it's gonna go, just let it. We can begin to notice the plants around us in a more profound way, and then we can open the channel to the communication we seek. And we're gonna continue to talk in this series about broadening our idea of communication, of talking. Because when it comes to plants, they're not going to be like Alice in Wonderland and just start singing to us with little mouths opening. They will sing to you, but not the way that humans will. Last part of clearing the channel is tuning into our 5 senses so that we can then tune into our 6 senses, okay? So when you're going out and you're getting to know plants, you're using your little identification to see which ones are poisonous, don't touch this, don't touch that. And then tap into the senses. I love to caress plants. I love to let plants caress me. It's an intimacy. And if we're building relationships, we have to build the intimacy. I know it sounds weird to build intimacy with plants, but try it. It's really beautiful and profound. So touch them. Let them touch you. If I'm walking on a trail and a plant snatches my head with a branch, I stop. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, what do you need? I begin to notice them because they wanted me to notice them. They wanted me to stop. Whether it was something on the floor I needed to be aware of, or they had a medicine I needed. Maybe I was just walking too fast, not paying attention to everything. Let touch be a communicating factor with plants. Then you can use scent. I said in my video yesterday, when you rub like a flower or the leaf between your fingers, you can see the aroma that's there. I didn't discover anything, but it just was a discovery in my awareness, in my life. This beautiful yellow flower that smells like camphor oil. I would have never guessed just by looking at it. And I could learn parts of it medicine from that smell. So we've touched, we've smelled, watch them, look at them, study them. What are their shapes? How do their leaves form? What is the shape of their stem? Do they have hairs? Where are the hairs? What does their texture look like? These are all identifying factors. The doctrine of signatures that was been used by Native people, they would look at the shape of plants and all of these different things to see what part of the body it was good for. Walnuts, what do they look like? Little brains. They help. Brain health. So really look at them and study them. Notice what bugs fly around. Do pollinators come to them? Do they sway in the wind? Are they sturdy? When you make a friend, you look at them, you notice their style, you notice their behaviors. These are our friends. Then listen. Again, what bugs are around? Is it buzzing all around them? And don't run from the buzzes. Sit really still, let the buzz come close to your head. It's magnifying. It's amazing. I think it's truly a medicine. If you take off a leaf, does it crunch? Different things to learn. Taste, again, make sure they're not poisonous, But if you're sitting with a dandelion, take a little bit of the leaf, pop a flower in your mouth. Is it bitter? If you're with plantain, chew it up. Is it slippery and slimy? What does it taste like? Chickpea. What's the texture? What's the flavor? Then, once we've got our 5 senses, take it to the 6th. Now we're listening with our hearts, with our 3rd eye, with our spirit. Do they sing to you? Do they pull a song out of you? One of my herbal teachers said in the elder plant, a witch named Elda Moore lives in that plant. So before you take any of her medicine, whether it be the flowers or the berries, you have to ask for permission. If you don't ask for permission and you just take it, or you ask, she says no, and you still take it, whatever you take for medicine will be poison. The tree, the witch is not going to pop out and say, yes, go for it. Exactly. You have to ask. But if you ask, do you know how to listen for the answer? Can you resonate with your heart? Can you close your eyes and feel the tree saying yes or no? That's the 6th sense. That's the beginning of understanding the communication of the plants. And this is why, for me, deepening that connection and learning that communication is the first step to herbal medicine. Otherwise, we're just going around taking stuff. Yes, it might heal us, but we're not just physical beings. Exactly. I remember that walk. Yep. So that's all I have for the first course. Clearing the channel so that we can begin to really tap in deeper to our connection with the plants. You build relationships, take a moment to pause and connect and clear, and then jump into exploration with beyond our 5 senses. Thank you. I'll see you again tomorrow.